Welcome back, everyone, to Jake Writes a Book. My name is Jake, and I am trying to write a book. Today I want to talk to you about something very specific. Specifically, why you should never read your own writing. But before we begin today, I want to address what's been going on in the comment section. More to the point, the lack of action in the comment section. Thankfully, there have been no new controversies, so thank you, Jake Gang. I'm glad that we can all agree why we're here. We're here to write a book, so let's write a book. Last week, we spent a lot of time talking about why you should never, ever, under any circumstances, show your friends and family your work during the first stage of writing, the closed door phase. If you skip that video, you are literally breaking the law, and you can and will be prosecuted. But right now, you may be asking yourself, Jake, what comes next? I wrote the whole thing down in my first draft, the all-story draft, and I've kept it secret. You may be thinking, hey, I've written the whole thing down, I feel pretty good. Might as well grab a glass of scotch or a Capri Sun and start revising. After all, writing is rewriting, right? Wrong, done, canceled, lawyer up. You're wrong.
Get out, you're fired.
You can't go into the revision stage or the open door stage quite yet. At least not if you want your work to be as strong as it possibly can or stand a chance of getting published. Before you review your all-story draft, you have to give the story some time to rest, like a fine wine. If you review your work too soon, you won't have the critical eye you need to revise it properly. But don't just take my word for it. The famous Blaise Pascal, writer, mathematician, theologian, scholar, general wizard, and master of the dark arts himself, once said, "If we look at our work immediately after completing it, we are still too involved. If too long afterwards, we cannot pick up the thread again." And Pascal was a smart cookie. He invented the infamous Pascalian wager and the equally infamous invention, calculators. Man, boo calculators, am I right, fellas? Math bad looks good. Let's get some math bad in the comment section. Everyone comment math bad and you'll get episode 4 free of charge. Yes, if you didn't know, this is a subscription service. You are being billed for every episode you watch, but episode 4 will be free of charge if you comment math bad. So, okay, geez, Pascal, we're either too early or we're too late. Are you rushing or are you dragging? Geez, make up your mind. To answer this question, we can evoke the only author I read apparently, Stephen King. The King tells us, "How long you let your book or short story rest is entirely up to you, but I think it should be a minimum of 2 weeks. During this time, your manuscript will be safely shut away in a desk drawer aging, and one hopes, mellowing. Your thoughts will turn to it frequently, and you'll likely be tempted a dozen times or more to take it out, if only to reread some passage that strikes you as particularly fine. Something you'd like to go back so you can re-experience what a really excellent writer you are. Man, this stuff cuts deep. But resist temptation. If you don't, you'll very likely decide you didn't do as well in that passage as you thought, and you better retool it right now. Or, even worse, you'll decide that the passage is great, and maybe you'll reread the whole book right now. But you're really not ready for that at this stage. You need to get involved in a new project first, or even, scary thought, your regular day-to-day life. When the end of your 6-week timer goes off, feel free to take out the manuscript for your second draft. Reread and edit that sucker with a red pen in one sitting if possible. Correct all the grammatical and plot and bad writing that you can. Make notes on that thing. Mark it up. If you waited the appropriate amount of time, as Stephen King suggests, 6 weeks, I at least try to do 3 weeks or 4 weeks, your work should feel exciting and familiar, but also somehow alien, like it was written by your soul twin. Since your writing won't feel so personal to you after you've waited that long, it'll be a lot easier to cut out the garbage. And if your writing's anything like mine, the first draft has a lot of garbage. There's obviously more to it. There's more tricks and strategies for reviewing the second draft, but we'll leave that for a future video. The main thing is that you understand you have to wait before you revise. Realize the need to wait 6 weeks before you revise. Don't read your work right away. Give it some time, let it breathe, return to it later with a more critical eye. Regarding personal news, I have my own way of storing manuscripts. In this ratty manila envelope that I forgot to bring down. So whoops, just imagine I have a ratty old manila envelope in my hand right now. This thing has seen better days. But did I read them? No. They went straight into this ratty manila envelope folder, which I do not have, which Sam will edit in, and which I will bring for the next episode. I started with The Switchers, finished the all-story draft, and then it went into the envelope. And then when that was done, I wrote The Dead Man at Table 8, finished the first draft, boom, envelope. Finished checking in, boom, envelope. I began to revise The Switchers and discovered to my joy and dismay that it was becoming too big for a short story and even too big for a novelette or novella. At this time, I'm still working on these 3 pieces and they're all in various stages of development. The Dead Man at Table 8 was a short story that grew into a novelette and it will be done soon. And Checking In is a short story which will also be submitted very soon. As for The Switchers, well, this channel is called Jake Writes a Book. I'll keep you posted. It's gonna be the book that we write on this channel.
Do you see what he's saying?
Maybe.
He's saying that
The Switchers.
the one.
That could be the one.
Yup.
It's the one. It might be the one.
Do you get it?
Do you understand it yet?
Do you understand what
It's
he's
not
trying to
Jake
say?
makes an album.
It's
Not Jake
plays
bakes a cake.
song.
Jake
does a backflip. No.
It's Jake writes a book
He's
and it
writing
gets
a book.
rejected by every publisher. But that's all I've got for today. Remember, friends, do not read your own writing or start revising immediately. I beg of you. If you do, bad, fired, canceled, gone, go, goodbye. God may still love you, but Pascal and I will not.
Yeah, me too. I don't love you.
And neither will Sam. But we will love you if you subscribe. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your favorite Blaise Pascal quote in the comments. Keep reading, keep writing, and I'll see you next time. Lawyer up. Lawyer up. Lawyer up.